WJTS News, I'm Charlotte Olson. A Jasper man was taken into custody at the Jasper Riverwalk late Sunday afternoon after he was accused of violating a no-contact order with a female acquaintance. Just before 5:30 yesterday afternoon, the Jasper Police Department was contacted by a female advising a male suspect was following her juvenile children while in the area of the Riverwalk. Police say the female has a no-contact order against the male identified as 46-year-old Alberto Barreros of Jasper. An investigation by police found that Barreros was in violation of the no-contact order, and he was located at the 36th Street address. He was then placed under arrest and taken into the DuBois County Security Center, where he was booked on a Class A misdemeanor count of invasion of privacy. Indiana conservation officers are investigating an ATV accident in Pike County that resulted in a teenage girl being life-flighted to an Evansville hospital. The accident occurred around 5 p.m. on Sunday on private property near River Road west of Huntingburg. 17-year-old Bailey Kaufman of Evansville was ejected from an Arctic Cat ATV that rolled onto its side. She suffered significant injuries to her right arm and was transported to St. Mary's Hospital for treatment. 18-year-old Jacob Rice of Petersburg was operating the ATV in circles when it rolled. He was able to roll it back onto its wheels and then drove Kaufman to a location accessible by an ambulance. Responding agencies for this scene included the Petersburg Police Department, Petersburg Fire Department, Emergency 1, Pike County Sheriff's Department, Air Evac, and Indiana conservation officers. Neither Kaufman or Rice were wearing a helmet or seatbelt at the time of the accident. The Jasper Police Department is requesting the public's assistance in locating the driver of a vehicle that fled the scene of an accident at approximately 7:20 p.m. The Jasper Police Department received a report of a vehicle that struck a house within the 1300 block of Newton Street. This vehicle then, after striking the house, fled from the scene. Witnesses described the vehicle as an older model red Jeep Grand Cherokee with a very loud exhaust and rusted rear bumper. It was then occupied by two people, as witnesses say. The Jeep is thought to have substantial damage to the passenger side of and was last observed traveling westbound on 13th Street. Anyone with information related to this accident is asked to contact the Jasper Police Department at 812-482-2255. All local non-emergency municipalities and county government offices and departments will be closed this Friday in observance of Good Friday. First, the City of Jasper, the Street Department, and all utilities administrative offices will be closed. Also, the Street Department and Resource and Recovery site will be shut down on Saturday, April 15th as well. Trash and recycling that would normally have been picked up on the 14th will be collected on Thursday, April the 13th. Meanwhile, all non-emergency offices for the City of Huntingburg and the town of Ferdinand will also be closed on Friday. This includes Huntingburg City Hall and Ferdinand Town Hall. The same holds true for the County of DuBois, as the DuBois County Courthouse and Annex will also be closed this Friday. Every 2 years, the Indiana General Assembly is required to create a new state budget. All state-funded programs and services are paid for through this process. This legislative session, District 48 State Senator Mark Messmer of Jasper and his fellow legislators have been working to craft a fiscally responsible budget. Messmer says that this past week, the Indiana Senate passed House Bill 1001, which is the state's budget bill.
Highlights of the Senate budget include keeping Indiana's balanced budget, maintaining a strong rainy day reserve to protect taxpayers in the event of future economic downturns, increasing K-12 funding by $358 million, providing $40 million for teacher bonuses through the Teacher Appreciation Grant Program, increasing the Department of Child Services funding by $100 million, and increasing funding to our veteran service organizations to help veterans gain access to their benefits.
Messmer says that for the past decade, Indiana has been one of the nation's leaders in financial responsibility. He notes in recent years that lawmakers have cut taxes for both workers and employees, reduced state debt, and built up reserves. He says that an important part of the state's economic climate is creating policies that benefit job creators and also taxpayers.
In February, Indiana's state government was ranked best in the nation by U.S. News & World Report. In addition, Indiana is ranked the #1 business climate in the Midwest, and our unemployment rate is lower than all of our neighboring states and the national average. Much of this success can be attributed to our pro-growth, fiscally responsible policies.
Messmer says that the Senate budget proposal reflects those policies that have made Indiana a leader in fiscal responsibility. As your state senator, I will continue to advocate for those pro-taxpayer efforts, and as always, you can contact him directly with your questions and concerns by email at senator.messmer@iga.in.gov or by phone at 800-382-9467. Every year, over 3,000 lives are lost due to distracted driving, and April marks the start of Distracted Driving Awareness Month, a time to remind ourselves and those that we love that checking emails and replying to texts while driving puts everyone on the roadway at risk. Jill Biddle knows all too well of the dangers of distracted driving because her 17-year-old daughter Maria Dorich was killed in a tragic car crash after veering into oncoming traffic while texting and driving. Her last text to her mother about making plans with friends, but it was never sent. Biddle now uses her daughter's wrecked car at local schools and other highly visible places to let people know that driving distracted, even for just a second, can be life-altering. The car was recently parked at the State House to help encourage Hoosiers to put their phones away while driving. District 74 State Representative Lloyd Arnold of Leavenworth says that Indiana has a statewide ban on texting for all drivers and prohibits drivers under 18 years of age from using handheld and hands-free cellular devices except to dial 911. Arnold says that despite these laws, the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration found that 10% of teens involved in fatal crashes were reported as being distracted at the time of the crash. Arnold encourages everyone to work together to keep Hoosier roads safe and to please think twice before putting yourself and others in danger while texting and driving. State Representative Lloyd Arnold of Leavenworth and State Senator Aaron Houchin of Salem honored 3 locally owned family farms late last week for being in operation for more than 100 years. The Egler Farm and Leo C. Welp Farm, located here in DuBois County, and the Casey Farm of Perry County were recognized at the State House with Hoosier Homestead Awards for over 100 years of family farm ownership. The Egler Farm has been in operation since 1841 and received a Centennial and Questcentennial Award. The Welp Farm has been in operation since 1916 and received a Centennial Award. The Casey Farm has been in operation since 1867 and received a Sesquicentennial Award. And in a release, Arnold says that over 100,000 jobs are supported by Indiana agriculture, and it starts with family farms just like these that were honored. He says that owning and operating a farm for several generations is no easy task, and congratulates these families on over a century of farm ownership and thanks them for their contributions to their communities and to their state. Houchin says that Indiana's recent celebration of the state's bicentennial illustrated how much our Hoosier heritage is rooted in agriculture. She points out that these families provide jobs, food on tables, and also economic activity in local communities. The Hoosier Homestead Award program recognizes farms that have been owned and maintained by the same family for more than 100 years. 2 award ceremonies are held every year in spring and in the summer, and they help to commemorate the achievements of farmers across the Hoosier State. For more information on the Hoosier Homestead Award, visit their website at www.in.gov/ISDA. And make sure to keep it right here, because up next, take a look at your weather summary.